All right, Dylan, mate. Thanks for joining us today on Views from the East End. Again, I'll
No problem.
introduce you to my cousin Francis, who is my co-host today.
Yes, I'm right here co-hosting. You know what I mean?
So yeah, Francis Dylan has been like a long time friend of mine. We go way back into I think 2004. So secondary
Yeah.
school days. So yeah, it's been a very good friend of mine over the years. So it's good to have you on today.
No problem. No problem. It's good to be on.
Great. So yeah, I mean, we want to get you on here to talk about all things UFC, really. I know that it was an eventful year last year for the MMA, and as I know you're a massive fan of the sport, so I just want to get you on to sort of get your thoughts on what happened last year and potentially what we could look forward to this year.
Yeah.
I mean, for myself, I'm not really I think last year was the year that I really began to pay attention to what was happening in the UFC, but I know you followed it a lot more than I have. When did you get into watching UFC?
To be fair, I follow it a lot. I think I have a deeper interest in it probably than you.
Yeah.
But I think what got me into it was more like the McGregor Mayweather fight that happened back in 2017 in August.
Yeah.
I wasn't really too much of a combat sports fan at all. Like, I kind of followed what was going on in boxing, but wouldn't really watch a boxing match unless it was a big heavyweight fight. But the Mayweather-McGregor fight just had a bit of buzz about it that was different to a lot of other fights that were going on at the time.
Yeah.
I think McGregor as the character is just such a charismatic person, and it was hard not to be attracted to what was going on with the fight. I think what he was saying to Mayweather was absolutely hilarious during the World Tours. The way he was coming from a different sport as well and challenging the guy who was 49-0 in his own sport and talking so confidently that he could beat him. Because I didn't know a lot about the sport.
Did you really think that he could beat him though? Because I mean, like, he had no chance in hell or heaven. Like,
this is the thing. Like, now after watching combat sports for the last year and a half, like, absolutely not. Like, there's no way an MMA fighter, like even the best one in the world, would like be able to beat Mayweather. Even just a general professional boxer, like he's probably going to lose. Fight 9 times out of 10. But the best boxer of all time, absolutely not. But at the time, when you're a fan of just sports who doesn't know anything really about boxing or MMA, like Conor sold that story so well. There's so many fans who were just like probably general fans of just sports who got into MMA as a result. That was a big driver for me. And since then, watching some of Conor's other fights and just picking up on other stories in the UFC, and it's just a really it's almost, I compare it to almost like WWE in terms of storylines. They can just really attract you, and the rivalries that people have between each other, they're really real, and like the build up to fights were really bigger than the actual fights themselves on many occasions. It's just a crazy sport.
Yeah, I agree. I think we'll come on to WWE in a few moments, but I think looking at the Conor McGregor and the Mayweather boxing match, I think now you've seen Conor in the boxing ring. Do you think there's ever a chance we'll see Mayweather in an octagon at any point?
If Mayweather is as smart as I think he is, then absolutely not.
No, yeah.
I don't know if you guys are aware that he fought the
tension.
On
New Year's, wasn't it? Yeah.
That was meant to be a mixed martial arts fight. That's what it was advertised as. He effectively said no to that. It ended up being an exhibition. Yeah. And at that, it was just a boxing match. And then he weighed like so much more than a kid. And then just kind of...
I think it lasted, not even one round, did it? He got knocked out in a matter of, 40 seconds?
Something like that.
Yeah.
There's no way. Like Mayweather has nothing to gain really from jumping in the octagon except more money, and he's already got plenty of it. So I don't see the need for him to do it. I don't think he will do it.
Okay. Nice.
I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, I don't know. I agree. But I don't really feel as if I can't really see. I think when you look at the UFC as a sport, it's one of those sports where it requires you to be feared. I don't think Mayweather's got any fear in him, but I think UFC is a different type of fight to boxing. There's a lot more you have to sort of look out for. It involves grappling, it involves kicking, whereas boxing is very tactical. And I think a lot of Mayweather's fights have come down to his defense and his tactical awareness as well. But I think, even for the Conor and Mayweather fight, as you know, I began to pay a lot of attention to Conor after that fight. Prior to that, I'd watched no UFC. I didn't know much about Conor McGregor apart from seeing him on, the UFC games on the PlayStation and stuff. So I wasn't really aware of, anything he was doing until, last year when the whole famous bus incident involving, Khabib was broadcast. What did you make of that whole incident? I mean, some people said that it wasn't real. Do you think? I think it was real. I think the emotion in there suggested that it was not scripted. I think we look at WWE, which we'll come on to later on. That is very much scripted. But I think you look at this incident, it was too personal to be fake. Really, what did you think of it?
Yeah, no, I thought it was great. I remember I was studying for an exam, so I was just like in my room at the time, and it was UFC 223, and Khabib was meant to fight Tony. But then Tony dropped out of the fight because he got injured last minute, and then there was a bunch of different fight rotations. So I remember that press conference, and I think I might have been watching it live or I was catching up with it. And then I remember seeing stories about Conor being at 223, and then I think I went to bed just thinking I had nothing of it. Like he might just show up and try and come on the stage and talk shit to Khabib or something. And then the next day, I think I woke up and saw there's a bus incident and Dana White, the president of the UFC, was saying this is the most disgusting thing in history. I definitely think it was real to an extent. The fact that it was captured so clearly on cameras, to me, is a little bit suspect. I know UFC do this thing on YouTube where they record all the backstage before a fight.
They've got a weekly sort of roundup show.
Yeah, exactly, which is actually really good. It's probably the best YouTube series for that follow sports that you'll watch. If you really want to get involved in what the fighters go through, it's really good. That's the only part that's a little bit suspect, the fact that they capture all of it so well on camera.
I mean, it was all promotional, right? Yeah, I mean, it had to be. To me, I just thought, this is the best way to sell this fight.
Bring the fans in.
McGregor is the star power. He's the one which is making the UFC or generating that type of money for that particular show, right? So the only way to kind of, add to that would be to have some sort of controversy right there. I mean, he was insulting his father, his religion as well. His religion, it was insulting
his lifestyle, really. I guess just the person he was, really, to be honest.
You know what I mean?
His whole history of bringing up, really. So, I think Conor definitely pushed the right buttons there as well, to be honest. I mean, I looked at the build up to fight. And again, as someone who watched no UFC prior to that, that was what drew me into the fight. I think luckily for me, I was a BT Sport customer at the time, so I could watch the fight for free. But if I wasn't a BT Sport customer, I would have paid to watch that pay-per-view because of the whole storyline. Do you know what I mean? The emotion I was put into it. I watched the press conferences prior to the fight as well, and it was polar opposites. But I think you look at Khabib. Khabib was just so calm sitting there. But look at Conor, he's up standing around, he's got his whiskey in his hand, I mean,
he's a salesman, right?
He is a salesman. He's trying to sell a fight. Oh, yeah, also, we've got Kwame in the studio now as well, Dylan. I think you might have met Kwame, but years ago. So you probably don't remember him. But yeah, Kwame, this is my mate Dylan.
What's going on, Dylan?
We go way back. So.
What's going on?
So yeah, Kwame, I know you got a few things to say about, the UFC.
No, just to add on what you lot were saying about the Khabib and Conor McGregor fight. I mean, obviously, controversy is going to bring eyes to the fight. So I think that was all part of the plan as well. And the press conference also, like Francis said, you have to sell the fight also. So, McGregor's going to do his antics and all of that just to sort of fight. Same as what Mayweather does in his boxing career. It was a carbon copy, really, wasn't it? Yeah, of course. You got to sell the fight. You got to bring eyes to the fight. So you got to do some things out of the ordinary to, catch the casual fans' attention. Not just people that watch the actual sport, but the casual fan as well.
Yeah, I think we'll talk about UFC 229 in a second. But I think, why do you feel as if the UFC's become such a massive hit over the last sort of 4 or 5 years?
I think it comes around characters like Conor, even Ronda Rousey a few years ago. She was the biggest star in the UFC.
Yeah, to trust WWE.
She does WWE now, but in MMA she was unbeaten. She was just absolutely destroying everyone in front of her. She defended
until Amanda Nunes came through and put that bitch to sleep.
And then then she got finished, and then she literally didn't come back because she couldn't handle a loss. But characters like her, characters like Conor, even John Jones now.
John Jones is my guy.
He kind of is my guy as well. He's unbeaten, probably the best ever to do it. He just can't stay clean.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That's the only thing.
As
But yeah, it's the big characters. It's like saying earlier, you got to set a fight.
Yo, this is Quabs from Views from the East End, and this is your time to have your say about the conversations that we've just had. So if you have anything to say, just comment in the comment section, comment on Twitter, and all of our social media outlets.